listening to The Revenue Engine with Michael Pacheco, a veteran CMO who has driven over $10 billion in revenue in the past decade with strategic marketing and customer-centric leadership. Join your host as he transforms marketing departments from cost centers into profit centers. Prepare to shift your marketing into high gear and drive unprecedented growth.
So there was a health tech startup that had a great product, but they were struggling to gain traction in an otherwise crowded marketplace. Their leadership team was stretched pretty thin. They didn't have a clear strategy on how to move forward. Their marketing efforts were a marketing jambalaya. They were just throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what would stick. They were trying a bunch of different stuff and not really focusing on any one thing. So what they did is the CEO brought in a fractional CMO to help them work on their approach. They needed to formulate a single strategy so that everyone who was doing marketing for this company was going to be rowing in the same direction, focused on the right things, focused on the same things. So the first thing that this magical fractional CMO did was help identify their business goals. What did success look like for them? What were their business objectives? And then how can we structure the marketing to drive more towards those business goals? If here's where we're at now and here's business objective in 6 to 18 months, how do we use marketing to help bridge that gap? They aligned their marketing strategy to focus on key growth areas. They targeted niche audiences, people who really needed their product, people who could really feel the results of what they were doing. And they put in place clearer priorities, focused on high impact campaigns instead of this marketing jambalaya that I mentioned earlier. Long story short, all of this came to place over the course of some time. And what happened was their marketing became more effective, right? Their messaging became more clear. People understood the product. Their not only their product, but their brand stood out from their competitors in the marketplace. Everything was more efficient, more focused, and ultimately more effective. If any of this sounds familiar to you, if your leadership team is struggling to find direction, it might be time to rethink your strategic approach, right? And to define, if you don't have a defined strategy, sit down and define one so that everybody that is working on everything understands what the goals are, what the objectives are, what we're working toward, so that everybody from marketing to sales to product development to research, everyone's working toward the same thing, right? If you're struggling with any of that, if you're finding it difficult to define a strategy and something, especially to lead the marketing department, let's chat. Reach out to me on LinkedIn, or you can get at me on my website. That's michaelpacheco.co, and I'm happy to chat with you. Cheers.